out, Troma fans out there? Favorite uncles back here from the Chicagoland area. I'm Logan Myers. That's my beautiful good mate over there.
And I'm Henry Hill, and you are with us for another installment of our monthly 31 Days of Horror all month long here in October. Having a blast reviewing a lot of horror movies and shows. And we have a movie tonight that is a kind of like a reimagining, have you will, a reboot of the old Troma film from back in the day. You know, James Gunn, he's a writer that came from kind of the Troma verse and all that. So, we're here to watch this movie that hit theaters, and there was a lot of controversy surrounding the release, trying to find a distributor and, just all the stuff going on behind the scenes. But we're back, and we have just watched this movie on digital. What movie are we talking about tonight, Logan?
The Toxic Avenger.
Grab your mop.
He's an ugly son of a bitch, though. That's all that matters to me. The Toxic Avenger.
That's right. These two wild mutants are back at it tonight. Back to talk about the film that I've been really excited for, being a huge fan of Troma. The Toxic Avenger. Been buzz all around this for a while, hitting the festivals and whatnot. Finally got a chance to get around to watching this. And hell yeah, this is a blast from start to finish. Of course, I love the original Troma, nerd Lloyd that gets, toxic waste, turns into the Toxic Avenger, and really campy, shitty B movie. The original movie isn't what most Troma movies are. And this one takes a different take, I would say, on this. Definitely better production value, costume design, and everything. And it's a pretty good looking movie. But this time around, we have Peter Dinklage playing the anti-hero Winston, who's a janitor at this creepy corporation that pumps out poisonous waste, and which will, eventually turn him into the Toxic Avenger.
Ooh, the Toxic Avenger. Peter Dinklage here getting the, starring role in this movie. It's awesome to see him get a lot of acting and a lot of good roles this past year, being on Dexter as the big villain in that, and then now being in his own starring movie. It's pretty awesome. Playing the Toxic Avenger and a role that he really, can tell that he's having a blast doing. Winston, he's kind of a down on his luck janitor. And of course, toxic chemicals come into the mix here in this film and change old Winston to Toxie and turns him into that beast, that monster that you see right there behind Uncle Logan said there. Yeah, I was reading before this that it's not actually Peter behind the makeup. It was like a Portuguese actress, actually, like a stunt person that did all the physical Toxie work, actually. And then Peter came and did the voice, after seeing what was filmed.
Yeah, I figured as much. I'm like, I don't think that's him playing the actual Toxic Avenger. And so now I know that's pretty cool though, doing the voice work. But I
Mhm.
love how he like transformed that whole scene with like the like bright colors, the pinks and
Yeah,
purples. It's
that
like,
was really cool.
it was like trippy looking. And he
Yeah,
turns into this, and he
yeah.
was like, the character was scary looking. Like when it first came on the screen, I'm like,
Hmm.
ugh. Like,
Yeah.
compared to the original, he's just like really goofy looking, like
Hmm.
ooh, and a doofus. But
Yeah.
this one was more serious and scary looking. But like when he transformed, it was well done. The effects
Hmm.
on this look really fantastic. And of course, he has the mop, he had the tutu on, the whole shebang, the whole attire in this movie, which is awesome callbacks to original
Hmm.
films and stuff. But I love how they did that. And then just turns into a splatter fest. Gore, blood, everything that you'd want in a movie like this. Limbs getting cut off, blood, guts everywhere, and that's what I was there for.
Yes, this is a campy B movie extravaganza. It reminded me a lot of those older films, like the original one that just went
Right.
balls to the wall and, let the gore fly. And, a lot of one-liners and jokes throughout. We have campy villains here. We have Kevin Bacon and Elijah Wood. I mean, look at Elijah Wood there. He looks like the penguin or something. His character is really creepy. And then, they give Peter Dinklage's character Winston, like a young, like protege, basically in the film. Wade, the kid, played by Uncle
Jacob
Jacob
Tremblay.
Tremblay. Yeah, and
Uncle, he's
he's
like
Uncle.
10.
Yeah, he's grown up though. Since the last time we saw him, he's getting to be in his teenage years, it looks like. And yeah, cool to see him pop up in this. And Kevin Bacon, just going complete maniac in this one with the wig and the, trying to be the rich, prick in this film, and he succeeds. And of course, it has to do with the company and the toxic waste getting out and turning Toxie, Of course, Toxie's going to come back and look for some revenge. I loved, his mop that he had with him and how the end of it could basically cut through anything. So he's cutting through bodies and just a lot of brutal gore and just a lot of fun, really.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I wanted from this film. Just going into this, yeah, it's a blast from start to finish. Like, I was actually pretty impressed with this. I'm like, you know what? It's either going to go this way or that. So they went the really solid way, really good approach to this movie. Directing, writing, it's campy, it was funny at times, serious at times, dark at times. Like, it really went a different direction compared to the original. And I really appreciated that. I love Elijah Wood in this. Kevin Bacon. Kevin Bacon's wig is a standout in this movie. And I'm just kidding, but he was really great at playing the villain in this, and he was chewing up scenery, had a blast. And Peter Dinklage, of course, I love his mullet in this movie, playing Winston, the anti-hero, down on your luck kind of guy, lost his wife, watching over this kid, poor, finds out stuff happens to him, and then he turns into Toxic, which totally goes a different direction. But bravo to this. Perfect movie to watch during the Halloween season, 31 Days of Horror. If you're into like B-style, campy, gory movies, you're going to have a blast with this. Also, if you're fans of the originals, I think you're really going to enjoy this one. Check it out. We both recommend it. So with that being said, I'm going to give the Toxic Avenger, the new one, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 Toxic mop hair pieces.
And I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5 Kevin Bacon rich hairpiece.
So I want to hear from all you wild rascals out there. What did you like about the Toxic Avenger? What didn't you like about it? What's your favorite trauma flick? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, check out these wild uncles on Facebook, X, and Instagram, and our website, Cinephellas.com, for the latest, greatest TV movie news and horror reviews.
And that's right. And that's all you'll hear from these two custodial artists. And until the next 31 Days of Horror movie review, I'm Uncle Henry Bacon.
And I'm Lloyd Kaufman, signing out to the next 31 Days of Horror. Cheers!
Cheers!